On behalf of the board of the Philippine Bayanihan Society in Singapore, I welcome you to the Bayanihan Center. The Bayanihan Center has opened its doors to support the educational, social and cultural needs of Filipinos and others in Singapore. Thanks to the strong partnership between the government of the Philippines and Singapore and the initiative of our founding president, Ms. Jenny Chua, and Vice President, Mr. Ning de Guzman. Since its establishment in 2001, more than 13,500 people have undergone skills training at the Bayanihan Center. But the Bayanihan Center is located at 43 Pasir Panjang Road. It provides classrooms, facilities and support for volunteers and community groups to conduct various short-term courses including basic and advanced computer training, nursing aid, hotel and restaurant management, dressmaking, caregiving, cooking, and baking and cosmetology. To foster the socio-cultural ties between Filipinos and Singaporeans, we also organize the Bayanihan Walk. It is an annual event to bring together people from all across sectors of Singapore in a fun walkathon to promote integration of Filipinos with the Singaporean community. Tara na mak, Bayanihan Center na.
Good evening. Good evening. Good evening to all our viewers here in Singapore and across the globe. Greetings to you, our friends, partners, and supporters. Kumusta na po kayong lahat? I hope everyone is doing good. Welcome back to the Bayanihan Talks webinar series. This is the first this year, and we are now into the fourth year of our virtual webinar series. I am Minerva Lau, a member of the board of the Philippine Bayanihan Society Singapore, and your host tonight. It is so heartwarming to know that the Bayanihan Society's webinars have been very helpful and very educational to all our OFWs who are watching us now or will be watching us later. We in Singapore can now do face-to-face gatherings since February 9, and all COVID-related restrictions are gone, except in healthcare settings such as clinics and hospitals. So we are blessed. But we will continue to hold our webinars, these online, as they continue to benefit our friends, partners, supporters, and all OFWs, learning and understanding relevant topics of the day. Indeed, the COVID pandemic is out of its way, but the world is still full of sham, still tragedy and broken dreams and wars and political tensions. Despite this, it is still a beautiful world. Quoting Desiderata, a favorite poem of mine. A beautiful world indeed, and we want to see with our own eyes. And tonight, the talk is all about our eyes. How much time these eyes spend on digital devices, and especially the kids, what the effect they have. So we are truly blessed and very privileged today to have a very distinguished optometrist who has topped her board exams and chaired so many associations and societies. So without further ado, to introduce our distinguished speaker, may I call upon Dr. Eugene Makalinga, my co-director at the Bayanihan Society. Eugene, please.
Thank you very much, Ma'am Minerva, my fellow board member. Good evening to everyone. Good evening to Dr. Cynthia Del Mundo. And I have the privilege of introducing her and telling you about her background to everyone. So just relax, those who are joining us on Zoom and those who are joining us on live stream on Facebook, magandang gabi sa inyong lahat. Dr. Cynthia, as we fondly call her in our informal meeting just before the session, she is the Emeritus Chairman and the Board of Trustees of the Philippine College of Optometrists, and also the board director of Ocular Foundation in the Philippines. She is a PCO diplomate in Pediatric, Optometry, Binocular Vision, and Orthoptics. Her academic background is she did her undergraduate in the University of the Philippines, finishing BS Chemistry, She did her MBA from the De La Salle University and her Doctor of Optometry from the Centro Escolar University. She is a recipient of many scholarship, and she is indeed our scholar and recipient of many scholar. She did her postgraduate training in optometrics and pediatric eye in UK, specifically the King Edward VII Hospital, and also postgraduate training in different institutions in Tokyo, Japan. To name one of this institution is the Tokyo Medical College Hospital and the National Rehabilitation Center for the Disabled in Teikyo University Children's Hospital. She's also a certified board top-notcher, both in chemistry, optometry, and in special pharmacology licensure. So if I have the chance to read all her accomplishment, I'm really very happy, but I think it is much more important to get to know her and to listen to her lecture. And without further delay, I'd like to introduce Dr. Cynthia. Magandang gabi, and thank you very much for this opportunity.
Yes, thank you so much. It's really a great privilege for me to be here. I'm so happy to learn of the Bayanihan Center and your group. Really everywhere Filipinos are responding to the call of Bayanihan, you know. We help each other, we are there for each other. Nako, I'm so happy to have met all of you kanina and now meeting all the other listeners tonight. Now, I'd like to share my screen. Well, my topic for today is the digital devices for kids, diba? Is it a boon or bane? I know that many parents love the digital devices, and so do children, diba? And just to wait, just to know, okay, and just to tell you why parents love digital devices too, you can see this. I remember one of the parents of my children patients telling me, Doc, I can relate. Relate ako dyan, you know. Why do parents love this? Because they akasyaya, di ba? Especially when parents or caregiver are very busy. Also, as digital teacher, you don't have to spend that much time anymore. The device can teach them many things about ABCs, 1, 2, 3s, and other things. And of course, the best pacifier, di ba? So when children are crying or having a tantrum, there's no substitute for giving the device to keep the child calmer. And of course, digital reward, di ba? There's no better reward than this one. You know, you can ask children to do anything that you like. You say, okay, brush your teeth, drink the medicine, go to the doctor, do this and do that. Afterwards, you can have, let's say, 30 minutes of device, diba? So I know all of you are enjoying these privileges with your children or apo, as the case may be. The question is this really at what price do this come? Are you willing to pay the price for this? So, well, Bane is defined as something that is not good, of course, something that is deleterious, something that is not desirable, okay? And with respect to the eye, what are we seeing? We're seeing myopia or nearsightedness. And I'm not talking about just the ordinary glasses. I'm talking about thousands of grade for very young children. And glaucoma, previously glaucoma can be seen only, let's say, congenitally, like, you know, they were born with it. And they're blind until they, you know, until they grow up. Or with older people having glaucoma. But now, bago lang ito, I think it came out a few years back. may tinatawag na juvenile onset glaucoma, and it starts as early as 3 years old, 3 years of age. And of course, astigmatism. Actually, dati-dati bihira ka makakita ng astigmatic children. You know, when you have 0.5 to 0.75 astigmatism, these are normal. But you know, nowadays, I see as much as 500, 700 cylinders of astigmatism. It's so amazing and concerning. And of course, it's strabismus. Never have I seen so many children whose eyes are turning in or out in a day. I've been in this particular specialization for 30 years, but I'm quite amazed at all of these happenings. In fact, I told my friend Arby that my heart is bleeding for all these children. You know why my heart is bleeding? Because parents do not know what they are exchanging for the benefits that I have just recently mentioned. They're just very happy to have them. You know, yaya, teacher, diba? Pacifier, reward, ganon. Pero they don't know what they are exchanging for that. Now, this is just for the eye. And maybe I should mention, because yung mata and the brain are all related, I should mention also this one for the brain. So the digital devices have been implicated in ADHD, seizures, speech delays, learning disability, autism, and insomnia. So is there explanation for all of this? Would you like to know how all of this come about? So we'll start with introducing the eye and the brain. So actually, we do not see through the eye. The eye is just a camera. As you can see here, the images enter the eye. It goes inside the eye, but it does not stay there. It goes through a hole, and this hole is actually the nerve that brings the image to the brain. What you're seeing right now is not actually the image that we see. These are other things. I'll tell you about this later, but the image actually goes somewhere at the back, and it is here that we have the image. So here at the back, you can see that, you can see that the right eye has a different pathway than the left eye, although they crisscross somewhere in the midbrain. So, but here at the back, at the occipital cortex, that's where we are seeing. That's where the computer is, so to speak. So that's where the two eyes can see only one. So let me tell you what we're able to see. So this is how the I'll change this one. Okay, this is how the inside of your eye looks like. You have the nerve, you have the retina here. The whole thing is the retina. Then you have the blood vessels, yung mga sasanga-sanga dyan. And then you have here the macula or the fovea. Now let me tell you about the nerve. The nerve is the one that brings the image to the brain. And so the normal one consists of, this is orange, it's like a marshmallow, very soft. So the normal one is what we expect to see in children. You know, they are robust, they are very healthy. And what happens to the nerve when they become diseased or when they die? They have this, they become atrophied. And so you see them as something like yellowish or whitish here. And this is an example of a 70-year-old with some of the nerves that have died already. Okay, but he's not yet blind. He can still see, but we're monitoring him, and we are treating him so that he does not become like this. Now, I want you to see some of the nerves of the children. So you can see here. You can see here the 8-year-old female. Ano masasabi nyo? Di ba? Napakalayo from normal. Not normal at all. And you know, we see this all the time. We see this all the time, every day in the clinic. We have a very special camera that can take the photograph of inside the eye of children. And this is what we see. It breaks my heart to see this because they're so young, and already the parents don't know, because when they go to the, optical, they don't maybe they look at the eye, but they say, oh, it's normal. But if you take the photograph, you realize it's not normal, especially if you compare it with really what a normal should be. And here you have a 7-year-old male who came from Mindanao. And the mother brought him to Manila kasi nag-alaga sa kanya grandparents, and the grandparents just allow him to have the digital device the whole day. And he already has glaucoma. And this other 7-year-old female, this is already glaucomatous. The right eye is already nearly blind. So we actually refer this girl to a glaucoma expert for surgery. So now this is not something new. Glaucoma and myopia or nearsightedness. There has always been a relationship between nearsightedness and glaucoma. But the thing that is new here is the fact that we have the juvenile onset open angle glaucoma. And that is actually concerning, as I have already showed you. I'm just showing you now the studies that make us know that we're not the only ones seeing this, but other people as well. So the right eye has a different pathway from the left eye, as I have shown you here. Parang bumabalik ako. Okay, sandali lang bumalik ako. Okay, so now let's go to the other part of the retina. That's the fovea or macula. Now, the fovea or macula are actually the parts of the eye where we place everything we're looking at. For example, you're looking at me right now, okay? So you can see my face, okay? You see the Del Mundo Eye Clinic over here. See it there? So it's actually blurred if you're looking at me, right? And if you look at the Mundo Eye Clinic, I am blurred. So actually the fovea is actually at the middle of the macula. This is the area that has the most number of cones. And so this is the area where we have the most acute vision, and everything that we're looking at, dun pumupunta. It goes there. And as you can see here, yeah, that's the case. The fovea is that particular structure, and it's very small. It's only 0.35 of a millimeter. That's small. So if something happens to it, I just want to show you something. If something happens to it, then you'll be blind. Now, it's very difficult to assess it, looking at the surface. So we have, our camera is able to take the photograph or the response of the 10th layer of the retina. It's the layer underneath. And previously, you can only see it kapag nilagyan ng dye yung blood vessel. But right now, with this new technology, we can see it using what we call the fundus autofluorescence. Now, it has to be dark gray. Now, I'm interested to show you this because there's a lot of misconception about blue light. So let me just show you about this, okay? So these are the FAF of various patients. This is 3-year-old patient, 5-year-old patient, 8-year-old patient. What did you notice? There in the normal, you have a dark gray in the middle here. They have a dark gray. But here, what are you seeing? You're seeing a whitish, center in all of this, diba? We call this bleaching. This is the effect of the digital device light on the fovea. And if this persists, this does not stay long being white or being bleached. It produces macular degeneration. This is the thing that blinds old people. Now, I just want to tell you that there are commercial eyeglasses being sold that says that, they can protect your eyes from blue light. Well, they are partly correct and partly not. Actually, they can only protect up between 20 to 40% your macula from blue light. And they say that, if you wear this, you can use that for computer as long as you like. That's not true. And many parents believe na, okay, now my child is wearing a blue protection eyeglass. So now, hanggang sawa, they can view the device as much as they want. That is not true. Mali po yun. Okay? So you will find out that the deleterious effects are actually not prevented by the blue light protector. The only thing it prevents is the fovea from getting the 40% at most of the blue light. So let's talk about myopia or nearsightedness as one of the effect of using digital devices. So myopia is a condition where the person cannot see far objects. They need eyeglass to see clearly at far, right? And I just want you to know that right now, nearsightedness or myopia is considered to be a pandemic. Yes, dati-dati nang sabi nila, oh, we have myopia epidemic. Pero now it is myopia pandemic. In other words, all children around the world are having higher percentages of myopia. Actually, I know in East Asia, it's 80 to 90 already percent of children. The best thing to do is, look at the school, count the number of children who do not have eyeglasses. Maybe there will be more children with eyeglasses than those who do not have eyeglasses. And actually, the Journal of American Academy of Medicine, the ophthalmology, hailed 2020 as the year of quarantine myopia. So because of the lockdown, as you know, parents have to keep themselves and their children at home. And for lack of anything to do, the parents, run out of things that they can do with their children. So they allow them unlimited use of the device even after online classes. Most of the parents will tell me, "Doc, kasi online classes says," I always tell the parents, it's not the online class that is the problem. The problem is what they do before and after the online class. Then I want you to know at this point that myopia is not just a grade. It's the destruction of the interior of the eye. The retina and the nerve degenerates. In fact, I have a mother who told me, "Doc, actually, I'm not worried about my child having high myopia. No, as long as, can you tell me that she can have laser later in life?" So I told her, "Oh, okay, she can have laser later in life, but that's not a sure thing. Because right now, if her grade becomes over 1,000, mahirapan ng laser. Secondly, marami sa mga batang to, matataas din ng astigmatism. And astigmatism, the problem of astigmatism is in the cornea, where you do the laser. And so they are not good candidates for laser. And third, if you look, the laser will just, correct the grade, but not the condition. So I'd like you to see this. I'm sorry I don't know why these things happen. Nababalik ako sa dati. Here, okay. So you look at all of this. Look at all of these interior parts of the eye. This is a 3-year-old with a minus 950 and 200 of astigmatism. A 4-year-old with an 825. A 5-year-old with a 1,000 grade. Minus 450 astigmatism. And you can see what happens inside the eye. The retina becomes thinner and thinner. They become like what do you call it, like a plastic balloon thin. You can think of the eye as a balloon. So if you breathe into it and put pressure, it becomes bigger. That's what happens in the elongation of the eye in myopia. And now the balloon becomes thinner. It becomes like plastic balloon thin. That's how I look at it. And here you see that those eyes that resist the elongation, nasisira ang kanilang nerve. The nerve suffers. So here you see 225 lang siya, pero makikita mo mali. Sira ang kanyang nerve. And here, of course, parang nagkabutas-butas na ang kanyang retina. So it's not just the grade, it's the destruction of the structure inside the eye. Now, what is astigmatism? Astigmatism is when something happens to the cornea. And what is the cornea? The cornea is the, I hope you still remember, the Araneta Coliseum in Cubao. Okay, it's a dome-shaped structure that is transparent on top of the, brown or black of our eye. So that is the cornea. And the normal cornea should be a perfect dome. But for those who have astigmatism, the cornea is not a perfect dome. You have this shape. And if the astigmatisms become higher and higher and becomes keratoconus, this is now the candidate for what we call corneal transplant. And here, if you look at all the literature, you cannot find any relationship between digital device and astigmatism. However, the thing that relates them is the dry eyes. Digital device produces dry eyes. It has been established already. And dry eyes produces astigmatism. That's the connection. And why is this so? Do you know that we are required to blink 15 times in order to consider our cornea to be healthy? Are you blinking 15 times in a minute? Okay, but that is not the case with people who are looking at their devices. I want you to look at this particular person looking at the computer. He was the technician during a time when I was speaking, live in a conference. I took a video of him. And I'd like you to count the number of blinks that he is having. Okay, can we do that now? Okay, can you count the number of blinks? 1, 2, 3. You can see he's not blinking anymore until we finish the 30 seconds. There, that's 30 seconds, only 3 blinks. That means 6 blinks per minute. Compare that with 15 blinks per minute. And so that produces dry eyes. And these dry eyes will eventually produce high astigmatism. Now, what about strabismus, duling, or banlag? Now, actually, I was so surprised to see a lot of them. I was having like 4 to 5 duling and banlag in my office after the lockdown. Now, before the lockdown, usually when a child with strabismus comes in, there are causes that I can identify, like may lahi sila, may heredity, natal or perinatal causes, early childhood diseases, accidents, diseases like juvenile myasthenia gravis, eye pathology, brain pathology, tumors, etc. I can identify actually. And during the February and March of 2021, I had a lot of these children coming. I said, but ang dami nila. And for most of them, negative dito. Walang minana, walang ganito, very healthy, wala talaga. And so actually, I was able to get some photos, not all, no? Some photos of these children. And I did a study kasi sabi ko, bakit sila ganito? I did a study and ito yung response kasi ng mga parents, no? And ang mga nakakaiyak dito, yung bat and sleep lang yung pahinga or until malobat. In fact, I have a child, I have a patient na 3 ang kanyang device. Pag nalobat yung isa, she moves on to the next. Pag nalobat ito, she moves on to the next. And up to the wee hours of the morning, hindi daw nakakatulog yung bata. Walang tayuan sa device. You know, if you look at this, my heart bleeds talaga. Ayaw paawat, hindi mapigilan. And so I did a study, and during that month, February, March, I was able to see 153 duling at banlag. You know, the black, the blue tower here actually represents exotropia, yung palabas yung mata, and the orange one represents esotropia, yung papasok yung mata. And what are you seeing here? You can tell me, what are you seeing here? 14 and below, they are the most vulnerable. When they overdo the digital device, they develop exotropia and esotropia, duling and banlag. That's what happens to them. Why is this so? Now, let me tell you why, okay? We'll go back to the right and left eye being separated. Okay, there's something I want you to do. Okay, can you put your finger in front of you? Then cover one eye and cover the other eye. What do you see? Do you see your finger moving? Yes or no? You see your finger moving. Actually, your finger did not move. It's just that your eye, right eye sees differently from your left eye, okay? So you are seeing two actually. The one being seen by the right eye and the one being seen by the left eye. And here at the occipital cortex, the brain fuses them into one. So what happens pag duling or banlag, the brain unfuse them or unlocks them. The brain removes the lock. So ang tanong, why will the brain remove the lock? Actually, it was a big question mark for me. I really wondered about it. I talked to my colleagues and say, have you seen any study that show bakit nagkakaganito yung mga bata? The only common denominator are that they are actually device users. So until last year, there was a study that came out and it opened up. Bakit na sila nagkakaganon? Well, here, as you can see, the two eyes must be aligned properly to place each image on the right and left fovea. Okay, so this is, let's say, a girl jumping. You have a real life run or jump. So the person looking at this girl has to have her image on the fovea dito, on the fovea. Dapat eksakto yon. Eksakto yon. And how does the eye exactly focus, the right and the left eye exactly focus on the same thing? It's because the brain coordinates the movement of the two eye. And how many muscles are the brain coordinating? There are 6 on the right and 6 on the left eye. And yung muscles na yun, iba-iba pa ng function. You know, the one here pulls the eye inward. The one here pulls the eye outward, upward, upward, upward in, and downward in, downward out. So iba-ibang motion yung 6 na muscles na yun, ay yung 12 na yun. Can you imagine the difficulty of the eye? Pero normally when I talk to an audience na live, I run, you know, I run in front of them and I ask them, nahirapan ba kayong tingnan ako that I ran? And all of them say, no, hindi kami nahirapan. So I told them, yes, hindi kayo nahirapan because this is real life image. You're watching real life image. Somebody running. But what about when your child watches cartoon character running in the device? They're not actually running, are they? They're not. How does the screen creates the illusion of motion? And you know how it creates the illusion of motion? Do you know that? There are photographs, images that changes the image so that from the beginning to the end, you see the jump, for example, like a digital run or jump. So here you see here, nakatayo pa, and then here about to jump, and then jumping now on the air, until natapos yung jump. And how many images are there to create a smooth video? They need 60 images. Okay lang yung 60, diba? But that's in 1 second. How short is that? In fact, sa mga pasyente ko, I ask always either the child or the dad, lika, mag-usap kayo. Count as fast as you can, 1 to 10. Can you do that? You count as fast as you can, 1 to 10. When I say ready, get, set, go, I am going to count 1 second. 1 second is equivalent to when I say 1001. Okay? You count, ready, get, set, go. You count 1001. How many numbers were you able to count? 6 or 10? Diba? What about this? 60 pictures. So parang ganon. So what's happening to the eye of the child? Pagod na pagod siyang sumusunod dun sa 60 images na yon in 1 second. So what happens? You know, this particular study showed that there is brain fatigue. And it causes the brain to unlock the right and left eyes. And who are these people? Actually, they studied this because they found out that the head-mounted virtual reality gadgets are not being sold. People try it And the most common comment is, I'm dizzy. I feel nauseated. I am like seasick. So nobody wants to buy it. So they wanted to find out why, and this is their finding. This is a very good study that I found. And I was happy to have noted na ito pala yung dahilan. Because of brain fatigue. Nafa-fatigue po ang brain ng mga anak nyo at mga apo nyo when they are watching videos. Kasi 1 second lang, 60 videos. Later, I'll show you a running dog. You'll see what I mean by that. So in summary, regarding the eye and the brain, okay, use of digital devices will create high myopia, resulting in macular degeneration, retinal thinning, elongation of the eye, pediatric glaucoma, resulting in nerve atrophy, loss of vision, dry eye, and astigmatism, probably keratoconus, needing a corneal transplant, and strabismus, where exotropia, the eye turning out, is about, in our study, 70% of the eyes turning in. How about the brain? We said it causes ADHD. It might be causing ADHD, seizures, speech delay, learning disability, autism. Why does this happen? Let's go back to our illustration of the digital run or jump. Now, in video and movie making, they said that for the video or the movie to be clear, they have to put blackout frames in between the images. So may blackout frames dito. And what happens when you have those blackout frames? I want you to take a look at this dog running. This is an 11-second clip. 11 seconds lang po ito. Ang bagal. Mabagal pag internet natin. So, hindi na siya 11 seconds. Sobrang bagal. Anyway, maganda. Nakikita nyo. So, slow motion siya. Okay. But still, kahit na siya slow motion, we are not seeing what we are supposed to see. I'll show you mamaya. We're supposed to see something. Sobrang bagal po ng internet, ano? So, I'll stop this. I'll stop this now. I'm gonna show you something there. Okay. Bumagal ang internet. Bumagal po ang internet. Sandali lang po. I'm sorry. I have to tell them to stop using the internet. Okay, now you see this dog. So I'm going to show you the clip. I mean, this dog, no, who ran kanina, and the effect of the blackout. Okay, so there is a blackout in between the images. So I'm gonna do this now. Hindi siya makita. I'm sorry, mabagal po yung internet. You are not seeing it. Oh, I'm sorry. I'll stop share muna. Tingnan ko lang po. Nawala yung Canva ko. Anyway, here, I know you're seeing this. So you're seeing the dog. Humina po yung internet natin. I'm sorry about that. So actually, pag nakita niyo po ito, nakikita niyo yung dog and then the black frame and then the dog and then the black frame, the dog, black frame. It actually produces a flicker. I'm so sorry I'm not able to show it to you. But I want to go there and here, the dog that is running, you see a flicker. You see the image here at the back here, and this image makes the brain tired, produces fatigue, and it can make the eye go strabismic. However, there is something more. The flicker actually goes to a different place. The flicker goes to the suprachiasmatic area, producing these two things. Overstimulation of brain activities. Here there is, I'm going to show you one of the studies that shows brain activation during spatial updating and attentive tracking of moving targets. When we are tracking moving targets, like in a video, then the flicker activates the brain so much. This is overstimulation of the brain activities, producing ADHD and seizure. Now, while it is overstimulating some parts of the brain, it's also suppressing some brain activities, resulting in delayed speech, learning disability, autism, and insomnia. So you can see here, I'm going to now share this again. Baka pwede na, kaya na ng ano natin, internet. Okay, kaya na ng internet natin. So you can see here the various studies showing digital device and the relationship between digital device and ADHD. Also, studies telling us about photosensitivity and seizures. Here, you can see here the flicker. I was talking about the flicker a while ago, which you did not see. I'm sorry about that. But how video games, especially games, because games, the regular video actually goes for 60 frames per second. The games go for 120 pictures per second. So faster pa sila. And they can actually trigger a seizure. In fact, if you look at some of the video games, there is a warning and nobody reads it. And also the delay in speech of young children. And of course, autism. There are now more studies showing links between digital device and autism. And so, considering all these things, this is actually our recommended screen time for children. You might be saying, "Oy, grabe naman. Bakit no screen time? Kawawa naman yung anak ko. Nang pag-iiwanan siya ng kanyang mga kalaro." Pero you know, in my experience talking to a lot of parents who, let's say na, oh, regulate lang namin, yung 5 years and below, it's hard to regulate them, especially if you are not the one taking care of the kids. In fact, I have a patient. The child was able to walk only after 3 years. And sabi ng parents, sabi ko, oh, who is taking care of the child? Sabi ng parents, kami. You might say you're not working, both of you. No, we're both working. How are you able to care for your child? Nasa bahay po kami, online ang work namin. But are you employed? Like, you know, you have to turn time in, time out. Yes po. So you're not taking care of your child. The digital device is the yaya of your child and you are just bantay. Hindi kayo nag-aalaga, nagbabantay lang kayo. So it's really so hard. And our recommendation is that for 5 to 13 years, school-related screen time lang, and 14 to 18 years, guided screen time. So here is the guidance for those who are greater than 14. So they have to use their cell phone greater than 33 centimeters and computer 0.8 to 1 meter. And smart TV should be 3 to 5 meters. But ito talaga ang regulated in 14 years of age and no digital games. Now, I know your problem. Your problem is, ano naman ang papagawa namin sa mga anak namin? They always say, I'm bored. They're bored. The reason for that is because you have not designed their day. You have not organized their day for them. Alam niyo, meron akong mga parents na ang ginawa nila, naglagay sila ng whiteboard, no? They divided the whiteboard into three. One column is actually face-to-face class. The other column is online class. The other column is no classes. And then they put the time, let's say 8 to 9, 9 to 10, 10 to 11, and doon nila nilalagay ano yung mga dapat gawin ng bata. So minsan, one of the amazing things we discovered is that kapag may ganong organization, pag sinabi nila sa bata na, what time is it now? Ganon, this is what we're supposed to do. You know the child complies. It's just that as parents, we may be too busy to do this for our children. In fact, yung sinasabi ko sa inyo, yung child who walked after 3 years, sabi ng mga doktor, wala naman daw problem, bakit daw hindi nakalakad. But you know, this child, yung mata niya nakalabas na ganon, high myopia, and then autistic, and then ADHD. And sabi ko dun sa mag-asawa, para kanina po ba yung pinagtatrabaho nyo? Para sa inyong dalawa? Nagkatinginan sila. So they said, hindi, para sa bata. Oh, really? Why are you doing that to your child? You're not nurturing your child. You're not taking care of your child. Binabantayan nyo lang, patingin-tingin lang kayo habang nagka-gadget yung anak nyo. That's not the way. Look at your child. But anong itsura ng anak nyo ngayon? Is that what you mean by taking care of your child? Hindi lang po pera ang kailangan ng anak natin. Kailangan ng anak natin is yung ating pag-aaruga. Maganda po yung Tagalog version. Pag-aaruga. Nurturing at their most critical formative years in life. Yun lang po, I will end with that. And thank you very much.
Thank you, Dr. Cynthia. That was so refreshing. Is it? Or is it like, wow, it's a lot of information and a lot of enlightening, actually. There are a lot of things. I think I would like to see those slides again, just to see what can apply to myself and to family and loved ones. I would also like to invite, by the way, I would also like to invite Dr. Eugene back. And this is our Q&A session. So for those who have questions or want to know more, you can, those in the Zoom, please, you can send your questions in the chat room, or those in the Facebook, you can send your messages, comments there if you have questions, and we will look at them. So please feel free to ask any questions. I'm sure a lot of people have a lot of questions in their mind. So anyone who has a question right now? Dr. Eugene, you want to have a question?
Yes, actually, this was sent through the social media page. So one of the question is, Dr. Cynthia, that digital alternative strategy that you showed us, that's really good. But for the meantime, we're transitioning from, with screen time to, less or no screen time. What would be your advice then for those parents with young kids?
Yeah, actually, it's really hard on your part. In fact, I remember one particular father ito, kasi yung anak niya, minus 275 before the lockdown. Close insecurity siya ng isang high official. So hindi pala sila pinauwi ng 1 whole year. Pagbalik niya, minus 1,500 na yung grade ng anak niya.
Oh, wow.
So nagulat siya. He was so shocked. Nilibot niya lahat ng mga optical dito sa Quezon City until he got referred to us. And nung malaman niyang totoo talaga, kasi binilagay na namin yung pinaka matibay na pang-relax ng mata para bumaba yung grade. 1.5 talaga. Later, he called me up. Siguro 3 days after. Sabi niya, Doc, nakikita mo kaya yung mata ko? Kung makikita mo lamang, magang-maga yung mata ko, 3 days na akong umiiyak. Sabi ko sa kanya, Dad, I'm really so sorry. I understand how you feel. Pero kahit kalumuhan ng dugo, hindi mo na maibabalik. Yun nangyari sa anak. What we can do is we can help you na wag nang maging worse than that. Yan ang magagawa ko po sa inyo. And so, it's hard. I cannot tell you what to do. I can only tell you that if you do that, ito ang mangyayari. Now, regarding the transition, ang ginawa ng tatay na yon, nag-leave siya. Nag-leave siya from that service. 1 month. Actually, masama tingin niya doon sa asawa niya kasi asawa niya naiwan sa bahay eh. Pero, syempre pinagtanggol ko yung nanay. Sabi ko, Dad, alam mo, hindi po kasi, hindi ninyo alam to. Bilang parents, you don't know about this. You don't know na magiging ganito. Tsaka lockdown, paano mapapa-examine ni Mrs. yung ano nyo. So, it's not her fault. Nobody's fault. Wala pong may fault nito. So, ang ginawa niya, siya mismo, siya na lang, sabi niya, naisip daw niya na siya ay makakagawa ng paraan para sa anak niya. Nag-leave siya ng 1 month and then inayos niya yung activities ng anak niya. And so when they came back, he was happy kasi hindi naman nag-increase yung grado ng anak niya, na-maintain naman namin through what we call myopia control. Meron kaming procedures called myopia control para wag tumaas yung grado ng bata. So, what the parents can do maybe is, ito suggestion ko parati kong sinasuggest, maybe one of the parents should take a leave for 1 week, kahit 1 week lang, just to establish the routine of the children. Kasi habang wala pang routine, kasi ang hirap gawin yan like if you're doing the same thing, like pag yung pareho ng dati yung ginagawa, walang mangyayaring change. Wala. Something has to change. And one of you should take the initiative to change. So, yun, mag-take ng leave para i-establish yung routine. I think that's the best way.
Thank you, Dr. Cynthia. We have another question in the Zoom chat message. This is from Cecil. Paano ko malalaman kung ang anak ko ay nag-uumpisa ng magkaroon ng vision problem at kailangan ng patingin sa doktor?
Wow, very good question. Thank you for saying that. Alam niyo kung bakit? My heart bleeds again na yung mga pasyente ko, 800, 1,000 na grade, hindi alam ng magulang. Kasi nga, pag dumadating sila sa bahay, kunyari, nanggaling sila sa opisina, nagtrabaho, yung anak nila ganito magbasa, akala nila normal lang. Ang lapit-lapit, hindi nila alam. Hindi nila alam. Until nagpasukan na, nag-face-to-face dun lang. Kaya ang dami naming pasyente ngayon. I'm not happy about it. Happy yung bulsa namin, pero I'm not happy in my heart. Because nakikita ko na ang dami-daming bata na ang lalabo ng mata and the parents did not know. So what are the clues? One is, you have to bring them out. Bring them out. Tapos tatanungin mo, ang ganda ng ang ganda ng puno, ang ganda ng parade, ang ganda nito, what do you see? Then, malalaman mo whether they're seeing things or not. The other thing is, kung banlag o hindi, you cover one eye. Then, pagtanggal mo ng kamay mo, dahan-dahan, makikita mo kung saan galing yung mata. Kung galing sa labas, galing sa loob, o straight pa rin. That's how you know. And yung iba naman, like yung astigmatism kasi is malabo pareho ang malayo at malapit. And the child will not complain na malabo. You know why? Hindi na niya alam kung ano ang malinaw. Hindi na niya alam kung anong malinaw. In fact, meron kami isang bata after receiving the eyeglass, kasi high myopia naman siya. Pagtingin niya sa labas, talon siya ng talon. Sabi ng mami, ba't ka tumatalon? Sabi niya, yung palang puno, hiwa-hiwalay pala yung mga leaves. Hindi niya alam na hindi. Akala niya yung puno is ng ganun lang. Sa malayo. Yung pala, hiwa-hiwalay, tuwan-tuwa siya, talon siya ng talon. So, I think yun ang mga clues. And the other clue, of course, bihirang mangyari, pero usually pag mababa pa ang grado, headache, o kaya yung ini-squint yung mata. Yung ang pagtitingin sa malayo, let's say sabihin mo, what would you like to order? Anong hamburger or whatever? So kunyari kakain kayo sa labas, ini-squint na ganun yung mata. Malabo po yung mata.
Thank you, Dr. Cynthia. Very practical tips. I hope our listener and those who are in the Zoom this evening heard that loud and clear. Just a follow-up, Doctora, from Ed, our fellow board member. Is astigmatism and myopia reversible daw po?
Very good question once again. Unfortunately, hindi po. Kasi as I said, the problem is structural. Yung astigmatism, pinakita ko sa inyo, parang lumobo na yung ibabaw ng mata. It cannot contract again. Sa myopia naman, humaba na po yung mata. Hindi siya nagko-contract in. The only thing we can do is i-prevent yung degradation, i-prevent yung deterioration. So sa myopia, meron kaming myopia control. Sa astigmatism, we are looking at, let's say, yun nga, yung screen time, no? So kung bata pa, talagang pinagbabawal namin yung screen time. Ang thing na nakita namin is this, yung myopia or nearsightedness, ang masama sa kanila, everything near, whether screen or books. Everything near. Pero sa mga banlag naman, it's not everything near. Digital device lang. Digital device, whether far or near, whether TV or cellphone, pareho lang. Magbabanlag sila. Ganon. So, I think you should go, if your child already has an eye problem, you should go to a center. Tanong niyo sila, do you do myopia control? Kasi may mga centers na they just give eyeglasses. Tapos na. But you can ask, do you do myopia control? Because with the myopia control, at least you have the feeling na hindi na lang yun magiging worse. I mean, o kaya kung mag-increase man ng grade, kasi lumalaki yung bata tumatangkad pa, humahaba ang kamay, humahaba ang paa, humahaba din ang mata, so mag-increase ang myopia. Pero kung may myopia control, konti lang yung increase na mga 0.25, 0.5 a year. Like we always do computation. For example, yung bata 5 years old, ang grade niya is let's say 500. Yung mother, 500 din. Sabi sa akin ng mother, pareho lang kami ng anak ko nagmana sa akin. Sabi ko, Mami, hindi siya nagmana sa'yo. I-overtake ka niya. Sabi niya, bakit mo Dok nasabing overtake niya ako? Kasi, di ba 500 ka? Kailan ka lang nagkagrado? Di ba malaki ka na? Ay, oo nga Dok. Nagkagrado ako, nasa fourth year high school yata. Or college na ako. O yung anak mo, 5 years old pa lang. Lalaki pa to. How many years more siya lalaki? Ang age of maturity is 24 for myopes. So 19 years pang hahaba ang mata niya kasi tatangkad siya. Hahaba ang mata. So pag humaba ang mata, ano yung track record niya? Kung 5 years old lang siya, tsaka 500 ang grade, ano yung track record niya? 100 a year. Diba? That's the track record ng eyes niya. So, kung hindi papabayaan mo lang siya sa same thing na ginagawa ninyo, what will it be? 19 years, that will be 1,900 plus 500, 2,004. Or that mathematics is very simple, Mami. So, dun lang napaisip yung mother, oo nga, ano? So, that is what we're going to do. We have to reduce the increase. Kasi po, wala pong batang pinapanganak na nearsighted. Lahat po ng bata, far-sighted. Kasi maliit lang yung mata, maliliit yung mga bata Pag maliit ang mata, far-sighted po. So, yung myopia is actually an abnormality in childhood. Ang normal po sa children, far-sighted. Kasi maliit ang mata. So habang lumalaki, humahaba ang mata, unti-unting bumababa ang far-sightedness until in maturity, ang tawag namin ay metropization, malinaw na yung mata, tamang-tama lang, sakto lang. Pero yung iba, nagiging nearsighted at a very early age already.
Thank you, Dr. Cynthia. That's very helpful information.
May dadagdag pa pala sa astigmatism, bawal ang mag-rub ng eyes. So, yun na. Yeah. So for the astigmats, bawal ang gadget, bawal ang rubbing of eyes. Tsaka bawal din po yung buhok na nakaano, kasi yung isa kong pasyente nung isang araw, ganon. Siguro tinatago niya yung mata niya kasi actually nagbabanlag pagkatapos ang taas pa ng astigmatism. So yung buhok niya nakaganon dito. Itong mata ito yung mataas yung astigmatism. 700 yung astigmatism. So sabi ko sa dad, pwede po bang lagyan niyo ng clip na pag ganon? Pahabain niyo na lang yung bangs niya, nakaganon talaga Sabi ko, nai-irritate yung cornea niya. So siguro, kinakamot niya kasi makate. Ayun po.
Thank you, Doctor. Then another follow-up from Ma'am Mary, our fellow board member. What constitute po the myopia control? For those who are non-medical, ano po ba ibig sabihin nun?
Ang ibig sabihin po nun, hindi lang po grado, ordinary grade ang nilalagay sa mata. Meron pong mga strategies. Actually, marami po ang myopia control. Yung iba, gumagamit kami. Ang ginagamit namin combination strategy ng eyeglasses with a relaxing grade plus eye drop. Yung atropine, if you Google atropine, the atropine is actually one of the best myopia controllers. Pero it's medical. That one is medical. Pero kailangan magkasama yung eyeglass tsaka yung eye drop. That's one. The other one is yung tinatawag na progressive contact lenses. Yung gitna niya, malinaw sa malayo, pero yung gilid, mas mababa yung grade. The other one is yung tinatawag na ortho-K. Yung parang, alam niyo yung pagka may orthodontist kayo, sinusuot yung yung contact lens sa gabi pag matutulog. Tapos pag umaga, tinatanggal. That's one way also. Pero mahirap yan sa mga very young children. Usually, sa older children who are responsible enough to care for their eyes, baka magkaroon pa ng infection. And then the other one is actually ano pa nga ba? Meron pang mga special lenses available ngayon na pinapablur nila yung paligid ng lens. So, yun, maraming options available actually. May contact lens, merong yung hard lens, yung orthokeratology, and then eyeglasses, and then eye drops.
Thank you, Dr. Cynthia. I pass the mic to Ma'am Minerva if she has any question. I just like to recognize those who are joining us from Facebook live stream. Thank you for joining us. One of them is Ma'am Ninalyn Sulit. She is the founder of HFSC International School, and she's involved in educating the youth, like Filipino youth in Singapore. And of course, Philippine Embassy in Singapore also shared our post for this evening. We have some comments, and they're happy listening. 𝐁𝐸𝐿, she posted in our Facebook page, and also Ma'am Juji, thank you for watching us, and they're watching from their home. Ma'am Minerva, any questions for on your side?
Hi po. Na-curious lang po ako, anong nasa digital devices na harmful sa mata? Anong meron sila na baka pwedeng by technology, baka pwedeng ayusin yun? I don't know. Just, ano yung po nasa mga devices na yun na harmful sa mga mata natin?
Actually, yung unang-una nga doon, yung blue light, it's actually true na harmful yun, although the ophthalmologist group says na hindi naman ganun katotoo because nga of the lies of other people na akala nila basta may blue light protector, okay na yon. So the blue light, anong magagawa natin? Actually, we were talking about it. It is emitted by the LED directly. Wala tayong magagawa sa blue light kasi it's part of white light. That's how we see. However, yung energy ng blue-violet light is very near ultraviolet. Kaya ang tawag sa kanila high energy visible light. So wala tayong magawa doon kasi visible light, we need to see visible light. Kaya lang, we are looking at how can I explain it? Yung in real life, what we see actually is reflection of the light. Diba? Nakikita yung black yung damit ko kasi ina-absorb niya yung light. So nakikita yung red yung nandito sa Del Mundo kasi ina-absorb niya lahat except the red nire-reflect niya. So lahat in the natural world, nakikita natin lahat ng bagay because the light because those objects reflect the light. Hindi natin tinitingnan yung source of light, right? Hindi tayo tumitingin sa ilaw, hindi tayo tumitingin sa sun, di ba? Pero sa digital device, we are looking at the source of light mismo. Yun ang harmful. I think they're doing some things to make it less harmful. Actually, tawag nito, yung intensity, binabawasan nila. Pero I think good thing yung bagong natuklasan nila sa eyeglass na nilalagyan ng blue light protector. Nagiging better and better yung mga lenses. In fact, yung lenses noon, let's say, I would say mga around 2021, about 20% lang yung blue light protection. Tapos naging 40% noong 2022. Today now, yung mga magagandang companies, they come up with 60% blue light protection. Pero yun, I think that's about the maximum. Kasi hindi pwedeng 100%. Pag 100%, hindi mo na makikita yung totoong kulay na wala na yung mga blue-violet. It's not good anymore for what you call appreciation of the vision. So yun. Yun namang ibang bagay like yung flicker, it's part of the way that the motion is being presented to us in a digital screen. I don't know kung may magagawa silang technological, change doon. Kasi that's how you will view motion. Kaya hindi nga mabenta-benta yung ano yung head-mounted virtual reality. Nahihilo yung yung mga gumagamit. Pero I think lang na kunyari kapanahon nito nag-uusap tayo, hindi naman tayo nagtatakbuhan. Yung mouth ko lang ang, ang gumagalaw. Hindi siya masyadong tiring. So sabi nga, kaya sinasabi ko sa mga parents, hindi naman yung online class ang masama. Kasi yung teacher lang nagsasalita. Hindi naman tumatakbo-takbo yung teacher. Pero pag ang pinapanood nila video na nagtatakbo sila Peppa Pig, di ba? Or nagigame na naghahabulan talaga at saka yun ang masama kasi yung motion na yun ang nakakasira sa eyes at nakakasira din sa brain ng bata.
Oh, thank you po for that clarification and information. Blue light. So blue is not good. Parang ganun, no? Blue light pala ang culprits dyan. Meron pong mga hereditary po ba yung mga sinagin yung mga myopia or astigmatism or glaucoma? Is there something about hereditary about this? Or
Actually, ang myopia is hereditary pero not the amount. I mean, yung tendency to have myopia. I have a lot of patients na yung kanilang mga magulang, mga ninuno, matataas ang myopia, but we managed to do myopia control hanggang lumaki sila. Konti lang yung myopia nila, mga 150, 50 lang, gano'n. Yung mga ninuno nila, 800, 900. So yun, pwede pang may magawang paraan. Namamana. Kaya nga, actually meron, hindi ko lang mapapakita dito, it's in my professional presentation. Meron silang ginawang study, may chart. Nakalagay doon, kung 2 parents mo ang may myopia, ano ang tendency mo magkaroon ng myopia? Pero ito yung good news. Pagka nag-spend ka ng 2 hours a day or 14 hours a week under the sun, kahit na may 2 parents kang may myopia, ang chance of you having high myopia mas mababa. However, kahit wala kang minana, kung hindi ka lumalabas ng bahay, hindi ka naaarawan, may tendency kang magkaroon ng mataas na myopia. So, yung araw, matagal na nilang pinag-aralan to, yung sunlight. Matagal nilang pinag-aralan the good effect of sunlight. It produces dopamine in the body and that dopamine strengthens the sclera. And of course, dahil nga sa COVID, alam nating lahat na may anti-COVID din kasi because of vitamin D3 na nakukuha natin sa sunlight.
Oh, thank you po. So, yes, of course, the sun is good. Diba, pag may araw, ay, nice weather today. Ganun, may positive reaction tayo. Agad case, ay, umuulan na naman ngayon. So, it all links up kasi it's good to have the sunlight. Po?
That's right. Dapat sumama sila sa sa
Bayanihan walk.
Sa Bayanihan lakad or something.
So, June 4 po, June 5 po ang Bayanihan walk. How about po glaucoma? Is that also hereditary?
Yes, actually hereditary. Yung tendency to have glaucoma, it runs in the family kasi nasa structure ng mata yun. Yeah. So, lalo na kung siguro kung yung bata, maybe magkaka-glaucoma pa yung dapat pag matanda na, pero dahil sa sobrang may explanation na yung International Myopia Institute sa Australia about that. Kasi according to their latest finding, nagkakaroon ng tinatawag na hypertrophy, yung muscle sa loob ng mata, tumitigas. So, tumataas yung pressure sa loob ng mata. So, yun yung isang dahilan. Dahil sa sobrang nakatutok lang sa malapit maghapon.
Sa papunta nung, ano ang eye fatigue?
Well, yung eye fatigue actually is, ang definition dyan is yung feeling ng person is hindi maganda, hindi happy yung kanyang mata, no? And what are the causes of this eye fatigue? Una, it could be muscular. Muscle sa loob ng mata. May muscle tayo sa loob ng mata. Ang tawag doon ciliary muscle. So, yun ang napapagod kasi pag tumitingin tayo sa malayo, di ba, yung walang grado ang mata. Ako walang grado ang mata ko, kaya ako lang ito sinusuot kasi may blue light protection to. So, pag tumitingin tayo sa malayo, malinaw. I mean, pag bata pa tayo, di ba, yung walang grado ang mata, malinaw. Pag tumingin sa malapit, malinaw, we take it for granted. Actually, the ciliary muscle contracts para makakita ka sa malapit. Pero pag naging 40 years old ka na, tinitigas po yung ating muscle. Hindi na siya nakaka-contract, kaya kailangan mo na ng reading glass. Diba?
Mm.
Ganun yon.
Big glass.
Even for magic. So, kaya yun yung muscle na napapagod. Napapagod din minsan yung ang tawag dito medial rectus muscle dito kasi pag nakatingin tayo sa malapit, nakaganon yung mata natin. So ito nagko-contract din yung muscle dito kaya yung iba nagiging duling. Ito nagko-contract itong muscle na to. So yun yung napapagod. And yung isang fatigue na hindi naman talaga muscle fatigue actually has something to do with the dry eyes. Parang ang feeling nila fatigue yung mata nila kasi mahapdi. Parang ko na lang ibikit yung mata ko, parang ganun. They want to close their eyes. Parang they feel fatigue, but actually dry eyes.
Mm. Mm. Oh, okay, that's good to know. I don't see any questions. Sino pa po ang may questions? How about our Facebook? Mayroong questions?
So I have a comment, Dr. Cynthia.
Oh, there
So
you
in
go.
that case, I will ask all my friends to stop sending me all these GIF and videos. You know, when there's an event, Christmas or everything. I mean, a greeting is enough, but then they will bombard you with so many of these.
That's right. That's right.
Well, because now you're telling me about the movements, the frames that actually my eyes is bombarded with, right? So it's not really. So I think we should all agree that we should not send this to each other, okay?
Oh, greeting na lang, di ba? Bakit sila pa nagpauso ng mga videos na yon? That's right. Parang meron pa isang question dito nakita ko sa chat. Masama po ba ang maghilamos pagpagod ang mata, matagal sa computer? Parang pareho din yun ang tanong, masama ba maligo pag pagod ka? Di ba? Yeah. Actually, if you ask all the doctors, sasabihin nila walang medical reason kung bakit ka hindi magbabasa ng katawan or ng mata. Pero sa akin, I know the concern of the one asking the question. I always recommend to my patients, pwede kang magbasa ng mata, pwede kang maligo as long as body temperature or a little warmer. Pero kapag malamig, doon parang hindi maganda. Sa body temperature, parang hindi masishock yung body mo, hindi masishock yung mata mo.
Thank you, Doctor, for that practical tip. I just want to recognize again those who are on our social media page. Very informative talk daw po. And again, thank you for those who share our live stream. Philippine Embassy and also our well-off officer is watching. And also shared our video. Shout out to Ma'am Nini. And then those Ma'am Villamor is also watching from their home. Maybe one more question, Ma'am, that was put here is that for adults naman po, do you have any hard limit in terms of social media and people watch they follow certain people in TikTok or Facebook or Instagram? What would be a good limit po on a daily basis?
Yeah, the key word here is called balance. Balance. Everything in life, even the good things, if you overdo them, masama din, di ba? Lalo na yung bad things if you do them. So balance lang talaga. So actually, I recommend what I call vision breaks every 30 minutes. So kapag ka nasa media ka, after 30 minutes, you have to look out sa malayo. Actually, pag nakatingin tayo sa malayo, nagpapahinga po ang mata natin. So look out sa malayo. In fact, merong tinatawag na eye exercise reminder. You can program it so that it can remind you every 30 minutes. Maganda yon. Especially for people working on the computer na di nila namamalayan, 3 oras, 5 oras na sila na nakatutok. Maganda yung meron kayong eye exercise reminder. You can download that. Merong similar to that eh. So i-remind kayo, 30 minutes. The WHO came out with the 20-20 rule, pero impractical po yung, sorry to say. Kasi ang hirap kaya ng 20 minutes, di ba? Mas maganda yung half hour. Kasi ang half hour is more manageable. I can see that it works well with my patients, yung half hour. So that would be what I can recommend, yung regular breaks. And also, syempre, magkaroon ng ibang activities kasi kailangan din ng katawan natin mag-flow yung dugo sa katawan. You like, ang nire-recommend ko, 30 minutes, you stand up and walk around. Ganun. Para yung katawan mo din nagkakaroon din ng better circulation. Then go back to your seat.
Thank you, Dr. Cynthia. So how can they reach you, Dr. Cynthia? Because some are asking if they have any question. How are they able to reach you po?
They can go to our Facebook page, Del Mundo Eye Clinic Facebook page, and they can inquire there. I'll be watching out for the questions and I can answer them there.
Thank you. So those who join us in Zoom, and also I could see more people joining us on our live stream. Ma'am Eloisa, Ma'am Maestrado, Ma'am Miriam, Ma'am Ceci, Ma'am Hilda, Ma'am Jenny, Ma'am Lotlot, Ma'am Giselle, Ma'am Maya, Ma'am Sayer, Ma'am Tessie, Ma'am Selna, Ma'am Esperanza, and a lot more. Thank you for joining us. And sabi nga ni Dr. Cynthia, if you have any question, you can message them on their page. I think on my side, I'm okay. Ma'am Minerva?
May isang tanong sa chat group from Marivic. How about eye ticks daw po?
Okay, yung eye ticks, actually, it happens spontaneously. I mean, it occurs, ang onset niya spontaneous, biglaan lang nagkakaroon ng eye ticks. And usually, nagiging more prominent ito kapag tense yung tao, nervous, or stressed, no? One of the things na natuklasan ko dun sa some, hindi naman lahat, some of these eye ticks, may history sila of diabetes. And so kapag stress sila, tapos may history of diabetes, kumain ng maraming carbohydrate-rich food, nawawala ko. Okay. Yung relay ng messages to the muscle na nasisira yon. And so nagkakaroon sila ng tick. So it's hard. Actually, the treatment for that mostly nilalagyan ng Botox. Kasi
Botox talaga. Dr. Cynthia, how about yung pong, I don't know if it's related, pero yung mga floaters na nakikita sa mata, what are those?
yeah,
Pwede
actually,
itanong
merong
po
normal floaters na nakikita. Ito yung remnant of the blood vessels nung baby pa tayo sa tiyan ng mothers natin. After kasi natin ipanganak, nawawala yun, nagkakaroon na ng talagang real blood vessels. No? Kaya nga, di ba, yung mga pinanganak ng preterm or kulang sa buwan, hindi nakakaabot yung totoong blood vessel hanggang doon sa may dulo ng mata. So nagkakaroon sila ng problema, ang tawag ROP or retinopathy of prematurity. Pero ito kasi, remnant ito, yung habang nasa tiyan pa tayo, may malaking blood vessel doon. Parang yung siguro parang yung umbilical cord natin nung nasa tiyan tayo ng mata. Ganon din, parang may ganon din yung mata. Pero nawawala yon, natcha-chop-chop yun, nandun yun sa bottom nitong mata natin. For some reason, during middle age, napupunta yun dun sa tinatamaan ng ilaw. Nakakakita tayo ng mga hair-like structure, lalo na kung nakatingin tayo sa araw o nakatingin, let's say sa sky, sa blue sky, makikita mo yung parang may ganon-ganon o kaya tumingin ka sa whiteboard, ganon, nakikita natin yon. Pagka yung maliliit lang na ganon, tsaka yung gumagalaw habang tinitingnan, tsaka minsan di mo naman napapansin, normal lang yon. We call them muscae volitantes. Pero kapag nakikita mo, black, kulay black, ang tawag namin black rain, may nagdudugo sa loob ng mata mo. And you need to see an ophthalmologist kagad.
Okay. Thank you po. Kasi nung una, sabi ko, parang may mosquito. Gumanon. Paano nandun? Yung pala. Natawa yung asawa ko sa akin. Pero it's good to know. It's good to know na
Normal yan, normal naman. Lahat tayo may ganon. Yung iba lang din nila napapansin. Yung iba naman napapansin nila, lalo na pag tumingin na nga sa white background or clear background. O minsan nagsiswimming ka, paglabas mo gano'n sa tubig, kikita mo yung mga floaters.
Okay, normal lang po yan. So that's good to know. Okay. Wala na po akong question, Dos. Sino pa bang may mga questions dyan?
Sometimes
Oh,
when I
ayun,
eat
meron, si
chocolate,
Marvic po, may isa pang tanong.
parang
Sometimes when I
nagmo-moist.
eat chocolate cake, parang nagmamoist ang eyes ko. Ano po ang dahilan?
Wow. Padala
Special
niyo na
cake
lang po
yan.
padala niyo lang po yung chocolate dito kaila RJ tsaka kaila Minerva and Dr. Eugene para pag mag-moist yung mata. Bakit nagmo-moist yung mata? Actually, first time kong narinig na ang reaction sa chocolate nagmo-moist ang mata. Ang alam ko nagmo-moist yung mata, yung katabi mo na naiinggit sa chocolate mo. Naiiyak sila sa inggit. Pero yung kumakain, parang wala pa akong narinig na nagmo-moist ang mata. So probable din na parang sa sarap ng kinakain mo, patikman din namin. Pwedeng, yung pagmo-moist ng mata mo actually parang I don't know, maybe like yung parang sinisipon ka minsan kapag kumain ka na maanghang, o kaya di ba yung masyado masarap yung kain mo, tumutuloy yung sipon mo, parang ganun din dito sa mata. Pero normally what the chocolate will do actually will be to dilate your blood vessels. Dilating ang chocolate. Kaya minsan di ba sumasakit yung ulo natin pag kumain ng chocolate, dinadilate yung blood vessel. Tapos because of that, mas maraming tubig ang lumalabas. So maybe it's also one reason.
Yan, Doktor, may humahabol pa. That usually happens
Yan po,
when
habol
we
po kayo ng question. It's our
at the
chance
end
to
of
have such a
towards the end of the
distinguished
program. May question si Ma'am Stephanie. Do vitamin supplements for eyes can improve eye health?
Actually, yung mga eye vitamins, ang most prominent is lutein, zeaxanthin, actually helps the age-related macular degeneration para sa matatanda. Pero lately, because of too much gamit nga ng digital device, ang tawag kasi sa lutein, zeaxanthin are macular pigments. Kumbaga, kung ito yung macula or yung phobia, yung sabi natin na tinatamaan lahat ng tinitingnan natin. Tapos, di ba, nabli-bleach to ng too much light. Kung may macular pigment ka dyan, it forms a protective, a protector there. So in addition to your eyeglass with Blue Protect, kung kakain ka ng maraming leafy green vegetables, marami po silang, o kaya yellow, yung may yellow color, sila yung pwedeng natural source of lutein, zeaxanthin. Wag lang tayo mag-overuse ng mga ibang insoluble vitamins kasi hindi sila nakakalabas sa katawan natin so easily. So mas maganda po yung natural source. In fact, yung carrots, di ba? Nag-yellow na yung balat mo kung makain ka ng sobrang carrots. Pag naman po too much. As we said, balance is key for everything.
Thank you very much. So before we end our program, maybe we would like to ask Dr. Cynthia for her last few words for everyone who are here in the Zoom and also those who are joining us on our live streaming on our Facebook page.
Yeah, as a last word, I would just like to say that whenever I see my kids' patients in the clinic, my heart is always broken. And my heart is broken because I can see that the parents value more their independence, their relaxation, more than ng child nila, more than the welfare of their children. Maybe they do not know. So that's why I take this opportunity to inform a lot of people about what the digital devices can do to the children, so that if they know, I'm sure the parents love the children. They will not do anything to harm them. So what I want to say now is, for all of you who have listened, spread the word. Huwag niyo i-keep lang po sa sarili niyo. Kasi nakita ko, kung merong kalaban ng lahat is ignorance. Hindi po alam ng mga magulang kung anong klaseng harm ang ginagawa ng digital device. Alam lang nila, uso, lahat ng bata gumagamit nito, kawawa naman, medyo mahuhuli sa uso ng mga kaibigan at mga kalaro, pero hindi nila alam ako ano yung pinagpapalit nila with that. So kindly spread the word po to everyone, family members, mga friends, teachers, so that many more people will know. I think it will take 10 more years bago maging formal knowledge ito. Yun ang experience ko. Kasi I remember yung myopia, early 2000, I've been a proponent of myopia control and nobody was taking notice. Ako lang talaga yung nagma-myopia control dito sa Pilipinas. Tapos ngayon, everyone wants to do myopia control. It's the buzzword around the world. And it took 20 years bago mag-wake up yung buong mundo. Now, I don't know how many more years bago mag-wake up ang buong mundo about the evil uses of digital device among very young children. How many more years you can help by spreading the word around? Thank you so much.
Well said, Dr. Cynthia. Thank you very much for your time, for your wisdom, and really those practical tips will stick in our minds. So for those who are joining us both in Zoom and in our social media platform, thank you very much. And for those who wants to share this webinar to your friends, feel free to share them. And you can always come back to this discussion and replay it again. And I'm sure any member of your family, if loved ones, if they watch this, they will benefit from the talk of Dr. Cynthia. So this has been a good evening for everyone. And sabi nga ni Ma'am Minerva, this is our first webinar series for this year, digital devices for kids, Bane or Boon. So thank you very much in behalf of Attorney Ranveer, our Honorary President, Philippine Bayanihan Society Singapore, together with my fellow board members, Ma'am Minerva, Ma'am Mary, Sir Ed, magandang gabi. Thank you very much, and I'll see you very soon to our next webinar series. Thank you very much.
Bye-bye.
Yeah,
Bye-bye.
thank you po. Thank you po na madami. Huwag muna pong aalis yung mga nasa Zoom dahil meron tayong medyo the usual photo taking. Kung gusto, pwede yung alisin yung mga, pwede yung pakita yung mga beautiful faces natin. Saka in the meantime po, we'd like also to invite you to our Bayanihan Walk, which is happening, where is that now? Okay. So we'd like to invite everyone to our Bayanihan Walk 2023. We're back, which is happening on June 4, Sunday. We start at 8 a.m. at the Bayanihan Center. So doon po ang punta natin, siguro mga 1 hour. After that, we are planning to have a nice program to entertain you. So please join us. Ito po yung mga steps to join. May pay now po kami. So if you can see UEN number T01, SS0179C, pwede pong mag-pay now, and then may ano pa tayo dito, if you can scan this QR to register. This will be all available on our website and on our Facebook. So yung Facebook namin po, if you not familiar with the Facebook, we have it at, just see, the Facebook is Bayanihan Society SG Facebook, or for those who are already in the Facebook, siyempre alam nila. So we will have it there. Tapos, we have Instagram, and we have, of course, our YouTube too, which is a Philippine Bayanihan Society Singapore YouTube. Yung iba pong past discussions and past webinars, nandun pong lahat. So you can have a look and learn more about other things. Madami pong mga information available that we have discussed. All kinds, may health issues, and also mga scamming, mga scams, at mga things about government services in Singapore. So nandun po lahat sa YouTube, or discussed during the past webinars of the last 3 years na. Yes. So, and of course, any donations and sponsorships are welcome. For our Bayanihan Walk, please let us know. We welcome volunteers to help, and also sponsorships to help us fund it. So thank you so much. And yes, thank you again, Dr. Cynthia. Maraming po salamat. Thank you so much for your precious time, sharing your precious time with us, and that wealth of knowledge and expertise that is so precious. So thank you po sa lahat ng pag-share niyo. Thank you, Doc Eugene Bane, for helping me in this, hosting this. So thank you so much. And Yes, thank you all very much. And for joining us today, our first webinar this year on the Bayanihan Talk series. We hope this has been a very fruitful discussion for each one of you. So next Bayanihan webinar to be advised, Paul. And so on behalf of the board and everyone here, thank you so much. Stay tuned for the next webinar. Yun lang po.
Umalis na ata si Doktora.
Thank you. Yung mga
Thank you
pahabol
po.
na